Internet outages are getting more serious. The interface will be off Thursday for the 4th of July holiday. Facebook spent the last day before a long weekend, like so many of us, abruptly shutting down without its boss' permission, without any regard for its co-workers. Facebook has had problems loading images, videos, and other data across its apps today, leaving some people unable to load photos in the Facebook news feed, view stories on Instagram, or send messages in WhatsApp. Facebook says the issues started around 8 a.m. ET and began slowly clearing up after a couple hours, according to Down Detector, which monitors website and app issues. The errors aren't the official explanation for the outage was that the aforementioned routine maintenance operation triggered an issue, so hopefully that clears things up. As discussion of a silver lining to the outage was that it made some typically hidden parts of Facebook briefly visible. Most notably, so if you browse through your uploaded photos, instead of seeing holiday snaps or pictures of food and friends, you will be shown text saying things like image may contain people smiling, people dancing, wedding and indoor, or just image may contain cat. In short, this is how your life looks to a computer. This is how Facebook social media outages have been unusually frequent this year. In May, elsewhere, internet outages are proving to be more strategic. Myanmar's rocky, government-mandated internet war, which have occurred with increasing frequency in places like Sri Lanka, Indonesia, and Sudan, are often deemed necessary for silencing the kind of innuendo and rumor that causes online mobs to catalyze real ones. But such telecommunications embargoes can be designed to foil members of the political opposition as well. And they can whenever a social network experiences a failure in the United States, Twitter lights up with jokes about the terrible inconvenience we're all experiencing. Unless it's Twitter, but as more of life comes to depend on platforms, I wonder if the day will come when the jokes stop coming. In America, the United Kingdom's competition czar is investigating how Google and Facebook collect and exploit personal data and have used their power to dominate the UK ad market, Mark Sweeney reports. The Competition and Markets Authorities will focus on the sector's two biggest players, Google and Facebook, and look at whether consumers are able and willing to control how data about them is used and collected. The CMA said it planned to examine concerns about how online networks were using people's personal data. Facebook has faced heavy criticism and scrutiny over both the and its role in the including whether making this data available to advertisers in return for payment is producing good outcomes for consumers. The United States already fined ByteDance $6 million over data privacy issues. Now TikTok is under investigation in the UK for how it handles the safety and privacy of young users. UK information: the president's campaign has turned to stock footage actors to play supporters in Facebook ads, the Associated Press reports. A series of Facebook video ads for President Donald Trump's re-election campaign shows what appears to be a young woman strolling on a beach in Florida, a Hispanic man on a city street in Texas, and a bearded hipster in a coffee shop in Washington, D.C., all making glowing, voice-over endorsements of the president. "I could not ask for a better president," intones the voice during slow-motion footage of the smiling blonde called a man labeled on another video as stares into the camera as a voice says, "Although I am a lifelong Democrat, I sincerely believe that a nation must secure its borders." There's just one problem: the people in the videos that ran in the past few months are all actually models in stock video footage produced far from the US in France, Brazil, and Turkey, and available to anyone online for a fee. 5 publishers teamed up this week to determine that the Chinese government was requiring tourists to install malware at the border that downloads their text messages, calendar entries, and phone logs, among other shady behavior. Joseph Cox foreigners crossing certain Chinese borders into the Xinjiang region, where authorities are conducting an oppression against the local Muslim population, are being forced to install a piece of malware on their phones that gives all of their text messages as well as other pieces of data to the authorities. A collaboration by Motherboard, Süddeutsche Zeitung, The Guardian, The New York Times, and the German public broadcaster NDR has found. The Android malware, which is installed by a border guard when they physically seize the phone, also scans the tourist or traveler's device for a specific set of files, according to multiple expert analyses of the software. The files authority, Yomi KZM, reports on the progress of massive undersea infrastructure projects led by big tech companies. Facebook is for Simba, named after the Lion King cartoon character, an underwater cable that will circle the continent with landings on multiple coasts. It's similar to Google's underwater cable plans are much further along. Construction plan. ADI Robertson reports that YouTube's ban on instructional hacking and phishing videos has swept up some channels dedicated to teaching hacking through an ethical computer security lens. As on Twitter pointed out, that could stop some illegal behavior, but it's potentially terrible news for anybody studying computer security, as well as people interested in countering hacking and phishing tricks. Hacking techniques. Taylor Lawrence profiles a young woman who eschews the formality of her predecessors and has one of the fastest growing channels on YouTube as a result. The most talked about teen influencer in the world doesn't airbrush her photos. She doesn't have it. All of this has gained the 18-year-old some 8 million YouTube subscribers and 7.7 million Instagram followers in less than 2 years. Her YouTube channel. I am late to this, but Neil Vigdor and Laura M. Holson have an unsettling piece about what happened when an unauthorized person took over a popular grief support group on Facebook. The moderators of the page, which has more than 500,000 followers, said earlier Thursday that an unidentified hacker first breached the account May 9. The hacker posted a photo of a disfigured child, a video of a person being rescued from a burning vehicle, graphic images of medical conditions and other disturbing content, according to the page's moderators, who removed most of the posts. On Monday, Joseph Longo says more and more teens are coming out on TikTok. Some secrets. Many LGBT+ teens are drawn to the app, Peter says. It's an online TikTok allows us teens to express ourselves more openly, because the majority of our parents don't know about it, says Carol, a 17-year-old from Connecticut. Today's Twitter hoopsie, from Joseph Cox. This week Twitter pushed sponsored tweets advertising a piece of spyware that is marketed to spy on a spouse. The advert heavily. The news shows how sometimes known as stalker or spouseware due to who it is used by and against who to try and get more customers. Lauren Larson has a fascinating profile of the online communities that help people leave the Mormon Church, known officially as the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, including a popular subreddit. Joseph started out as a questioner. He read the essays, say this for Facebook's deep learning-based recommendation model, DLRM. It's very logically named. David Marcus is here to answer your questions about Libra, such as why? Bringing the world closer together involves giving people tools to connect and communicate, but right now, while people can send each other text, videos, photos, and more, in many cases they can't easily move value between one another. Economic empowerment. Sal Rodriguez reports that people do not care enough about LinkedIn to remember to block their exes there. It wasn't until about 1 year later that she realized there was one social network she had missed. She logged onto her. I didn't realize I hadn't blocked him on there until I got a notification, Boyd, 33 and an executive assistant in Los Angeles, told CNBC on Facebook Messenger. At that point God bless America. Send me tips, comments, questions, and your 4th of July barbecue side dish recipes.
Raindrop, drop top, top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.